What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video I want to talk about the early signs, red flags of the narcissist getting to know you. And notice I emphasized getting to know you, because you will never really get to know them. When a narcissist, when they start to just pretty much love bomb you halfway to death within 24 hours of meeting you, that's a red flag right there. Like, this person is desperate, they're rushing. Like, slow down a bit. But a lot of times they go over our heads because of how charming they may seem, and they come with gifts and everything like that. They can have a conversation with you the very first day they meet you, and they're going to soak up every little bit that they can about you. Anything, that tells them what you like and stuff like that. So it's just like, that's the moment that they're waiting for. They're waiting for you to just make it easy for them to just pretty much, you know, just soak you up and drain you. And they do that to wear you out, which kind of clouds your mind, your thinking, to the point where so much time has went by and you never noticed the early signs and the red flags of a toxic person. Narcissists, they'll let you know that they're interested in you based off all the information you give them. It could be any little thing. Oh, they like that, you know. And when they're dazing in your eyes and everything, and when they're quiet, that's because, you're talking. You're doing all the talking. You laying it all out there for them. You let them know everything that you like. And they may get a few words in to let you know their dislikes. And their dislikes, a lot of times, it has to do with the old supply. Or maybe the supply who they're already seeing, because 9 times out of 10 they're still seeing somebody. But the thing about it is, narcissists love to just know everything about you so that they can, kind of present it to you all the time. And it's like, well, I know what I like, so I don't need you to get everything for me that I like. Surprise me sometimes with something that you want, to give to me or something like that. And I'm not trying to make a big old deal out of material things, because that's not really the point. The thing is, what to look for in the beginning. The rushing to get to know you, the timeline. They met you on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, they want to see you again every day: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They need to know your work schedule. They make plans around your schedule. And you kind of make it easy for them, because, you don't set the boundaries. You don't let them know that, well, I may not want to see you after work today, even if I'm not tired and I'm not busy. You don't give them that option. Well, you don't give yourself that option, really, because they have smothered you to the point where you forget that you have a choice. That's what normally happens in the early stages of the narcissist getting to know you. And when it happens, the narcissist, they kind of already got you where they want you at. By the 5th day, they ready to, um, they ready to mention you if they haven't already. By the 3rd day, mention you to their parents. I remember listening to a conversation with the narc telling his mother, um, I'm on a date right now. And I'm like, this is not a date. We just met, and this is not a date. I don't remember me saying that we were going on a date. That's not something that I thought this was. I thought we were just going to get a bite to eat. Like, why do you have to put labels on it? And then he ran into a friend, and he was not trying to listen to what the man was saying. He wanted to show me off. Yeah, and he was like, oh, sorry, I apologize, my name's so and so, nice to meet you. So who this you? Yeah, this my lady, this my old lady. And I'm like, I'm not your old lady. We just met 5 days ago, and we're not on a date. We just been talking on the phone. They don't really like to text. They only text is like after they notice that you have withdrawn a little bit from texting, because that's something that they express themselves through text messages in a very juvenile way. They don't know how to express themselves like an adult. They get angry even through the text messages. They text you in caps, and you can just kind of read between. You just kind of know how they feel and how they express themselves through the messages. So they don't want you to see that side of them right away. So you may not get the text so early in getting to know them. And another thing that kills me is that their grammar. It's like they run on sentences, uh, confusing the word want with won't, and stuff like that. Just like a pet peeve to me. So you correct them nicely, and they get offended by it. They get easily offended by any rejection. But can I see you today? Well, I'm going to be a little busy. Well, it seems like you just don't want to see me again. Like, where is all this coming from? This is the signs to look for. They text it again. Or you say something like, I didn't say that. I said I'm busy. Like, chill out. And then you might get one word reply back or something. Okay. They might even text back in caps. The second time, they wait because they see that you probably annoyed, or you like, I ain't really feeling this right now. So they text again. I miss you. Huh? You miss me? That's the part that really throws me. How you miss me so soon and you don't? What do you miss? What do you miss? You've only known me 5 days. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't have their own identity. They need every waking moment of you so they can feel alive. Other than that, they're groggy, they're aggravated, they're easily agitated, and you see it in the way they communicate. Because any little sign of rejection tells them you lose or you're losing, and they get angry. and they just spaz out. And I've seen this, and I've seen it with other people until I had to like stop them in their tracks. Like, hey, you know you have a choice, right? You know that. Do you know what's going on between y'all right now, or you only know what they're telling you what it is at this point? Because you know you have a choice in this. You have options, and you have the right to weigh your options. And if you even decide to date, okay, so we want to call it dating. Do you know that dating does not mean you're in a relationship? Dating means you're going out on a date with this person. You're enjoying their company. You know, y'all might be feeling each other real good, but it's not a committed relationship. You know, you're feeling them out. You're working yourself up to that maybe. There's a maybe though, because there's other people you may be dating, and there's nothing wrong with it. When you explain to a narcissist what's going on, see, a narcissist can't handle a smart person who they can't get over on. They need the ones who don't really know what's going on yet. When you explain to them that we're just dating, okay, take it easy. We got time for that. Or you know that we're not really dating, we're just friends. We just went to get a bite to eat. That does not mean we're dating. I don't feel that way. I don't know why you do. Well, I thought this and I thought that because I told you what I wanted. See, I don't have time to be wasting my time with people. I've had, it's never about their past relationships to where someone cheated on them and hurted them real bad. It's just, I wanted this and they wouldn't give it to me. And I'm not putting up with the BS. I know what I want. Okay, but this is not how you go about getting that, through getting to know a person by pushing them and setting a narrative for everything. Everyone is their own individual and they have a mind of their own and they should have a preference of their own. Another thing narcissists do in the early stages of getting to know you, it's just like you tell them a little bit about yourself. Not like a boomerang effect. It's just like a give and take. It's what it's supposed to be. You give a little information about you, I'll give a little info, back and forth. But the narc don't really have nothing to go on. They listen to what you have to say, and then they kind of repeat it in a way and change up their own experience. But within that, if you're really listening, they're pretty much just mimicking you. They're just repeating what you just said. You have to really pay attention to that, though. They even, word things the way you do. Use your lingo. It's like they don't have their own identity. It'll go straight over your head if you're not a deep thinker. And at one time I wasn't. That's why I wanted to do this video, just to, I know I talked about this before in the past, but I just wanted to refresh your mind what to look for. Don't waste time and don't hesitate to let a person know you're not comfortable with them, you're not feeling it. Yeah, they might flash out on you and say some things that you're like, dang. So it's like, they're like, how could you even get that mad about something like this towards a person you hardly even know? You barely know me past 72 hours. And I can make you that mad because of my own preference. But back to that, when it comes to going out to eat, pay attention to things like that. They ask you everything about what you want, what you want, what you want. Trust me, while you're sharing all of that with the narcissist, they are mimicking you. They're taking on your character. They're taking on your taste. They're taking on your style. And they're repeating it with another supply. They don't have their own identity. And when they're just daydreaming at you while you talk, they're not admiring you. That is not admiration. They're soaking themselves into you like an unhealthy obsession. They're indulged in the moment. And they're going to pick up on so much to pass on to other supply. When narcissists do that, they're getting to know you until there is no you. They're sucking you dry. They're energy vampires. They need to know everything that you like so they can present it right back to you. Where's the give and take in it? Show me something about you. Tell me something about you. Let me get inside of your mind. Enlighten me. But that's a trait that they don't have. So they can't give you something that they don't have. So stop looking for it because you're not going to get it. Those early signs are red flags that you should kind of reevaluate if you want to go forward as far as getting to know someone like that. Because you shouldn't feel drained within just days of meeting someone and deciding to see them again the next day or talk to them. You shouldn't even feel drained from a phone conversation or texting. You shouldn't feel like, did I say something wrong? When you know you haven't. And trust me, they disappear on you pretty early when you're thinking, oh, okay, well, I guess they, the call dropped or they got bad signal in wherever they at, they're in a bad area. They probably hung that phone up in your face because they didn't want to hear something that you just said pertaining to the fact that they're moving too fast. You need to slow down. I think you're misunderstanding what's going on right now. We're just getting to know each other. That doesn't mean I'm going to want to be with you. I haven't even expressed whether I even want to be in another relationship, and you've already made that decision for me. Those are the things you have to let the narcissist know. And it's sad that you have to tell them in such a gentle way so that they won't have a tantrum. But again, you don't really know that this person is going to react in that way or respond in a certain way because you don't know them. But that's why, it's important to be chill and be still and do you, and don't allow the narcissist to set the narrative for you. Don't let them write don't let them write the script. You have your own voice, your own opinion, your own preference. And when you express that and they give you a negative backlash for pretty much everything because you're not giving them what they want, then that's, a sign that maybe you should just not even continue communicating with them, you know. Because even if you limit communication and they finally get it through their head, like, well, I guess this is just going to be a friendship and we'll talk every now and then, they still going to see you as supply and they're still going to approach you in a way that benefits them. So it's best to just cut it off all the way. And it may sound harsh, but you got to do what's necessary for your own peace of mind. But, those are just some of the early signs when when you're with the person who's getting to know you, you have to look out for those things. Because if you just you just let it go, you keep letting it go, it's going to only get worse. If you keep ignoring red flags, it's going to get worse. And sooner or later, you're going to see that person for who they are. Notice every time you talk to a person and they always play the victim role to everybody in their past relationships hurt them. But they could never point out to you how they hurt, like where did the hurt come from? What type of hurt? Was it infidelity? Like what happened? Did they give you an STD? Like they had, started a family outside of your relationship? Like what happened? And it was just always, they just wouldn't listen to you. You don't own anyone. You're not in control of anyone. People have to make their own decisions. You can give them good advice, but I doubt if a narcissist gives someone good advice. If anything, the narcissist is advising you to do as they say and how they want you to be, because they picture you in the image that they've created in their mind. And they need it to stay that way. They be so in their own world and mesmerized just by the presence of you that they have decided that they're in love with this supply. You've given them a high and you got nothing in return because they don't have anything to offer you. But you're constantly catering to them because you want to see them happy. But, where that leaves you at. They don't have nothing to offer you. And you can kind of pick that out in the conversations. They have empty conversations. They're dead weight, dead air. They're waiting on your feedback all the time so they can feed that back to you. And it's like you're just an echo to yourself. You're just hearing yourself talk. And it's crazy, but that's how it is with a narcissist when they're getting to know you. They're energy vampires. You tell them about the things you like and what you don't like. Tell them what you don't like. If they don't agree with it, they're going to constantly try to convince you to change your mind, to set your preference towards what they like. And then when you tell them, hey, but that's not what I want. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. Oh, so you don't eat. It's like they criticize your choices, like if it's a problem, because your choices, it differs from theirs. So they can't benefit off you that way. You don't give them the energy they want when you don't have the same, a lot of things in common. And it's not even about being in common. It's just like supply to them to know that they're able to cater to you in a way. It makes it easier because you've made it so easy for them to do something like fry me a hamburger and fries. I don't want that. I want Lebanese. I want something foreign. I want fruits and vegetables. I don't want to cook. They've already pinpointed you out to be the person they need you to be. You're going to be, cooking for me. You got to know, no, hold up. Pump your brakes. First of all, who told you that that's the role I want to take? Secondly, even with you, let alone because I'm not changing the way I do things, my routine, to please you. And you can't even give me nothing in return because you don't even know who you are as a person. They get their energy through how they can feed you a bunch of nothing. And you give them a reaction off that. If they can blow you up with a lot of unhealthy food, it's just like they're feeding off that in a way to where it still gives them supply. And when you don't, when you're not subject to that, it's a void to them. It's a takeaway. It's a rejection. They don't know how to accept your preferences. That's why the narcissists have a hard time communicating when it comes to, differences in opinion. They can't give you a logical response to anything because they're always in their feelings. It always comes from an emotional place with them. Well, that made me feel a way that you don't like to cook because I like to eat. I didn't say I don't like to cook. I don't like to cook the things that you like to eat. It's a difference. Well, you don't think about just trying. I don't want it. I've had it. I'm over that type of eating. I'm on to something different now. And they get quiet on you. The narcissists, they're funny. They're a funny being, But you just got to be careful not to let them play on your emotions either, because you'll quickly fall into that trap or finding yourself catering to them, which still gives them supply. So, that's just something to think about in the early stages of the narcissist getting to know you. Be careful of what you give them. You're not subject to give them anything. You don't owe them anything. And you have a right to just cut that off when it doesn't feel right, when something seems out of place or it's moving too fast. Because if it's up to a narcissist, they will suck you dry. That's all a part of them getting to know you. And they will get to know you until there is no you. Because it goes way farther beyond all of that. It gets worse. They will totally destroy you in the process.